When Shi learned of Zhou Shenkin's triumphant return, she happily ran to the study, but only saw her senior brother Zhou and was a bit lost. From him, she learned that Zhou Shenkin was seriously wounded in the military camp. She panicked and prepared to go over. Zhou had no choice but to bring her over, and the two had not seen each other for a year. As soon as they saw Zhou Shenkin, Timothy couldn't help but have red eyes.
你的伤了。
没关系，不用在乎这个。
And the army is still fighting. Jade and Kui Feng have their own tasks, but Shi learned from his sister that Zhou Shenkin had been hit by a poison arrow, and although the poison had been detoxified, the situation was not very optimistic. Then the master will be left to your care. My brother also entrusted to you. I'm in him. I'm in the master is in. When Shi was distressed, she wanted to take care of him, but Zhou Shenkin told Shi to go back to the tent and rest. She did not feel at ease and defied Zhou Shenkin's order to have the army doctor give her the medicine. At this moment, Zhou Shenkin was already asleep. Shi could not speak and could not bear to disturb him who was sleeping, quietly looking at the adored person in front of him. Seeing that the medicine is about to get cold, can only tug at his sleeve. Zhou Shenkin is extremely alert. The move fiercely pressed Shi under the body, only to see clearly the person in front of him.
你怎么在这儿？
Medicine was spilled all over the floor. When the person is in a hurry to find a military doctor, let him decoct a bowl of medicine for Zhou Shenkin. After Zhou Shenkin drank the medicine, Shi refused to leave Zhou Shenkin's tent.
他们能做的，我也可以。
At this moment, Shi felt most at ease when she could stay by the master's side. The next day, Zhou Shenkin woke up and saw Shi sleeping beside him. He tenderly covered Shi with the blanket. At this time in the Zhangzhou palace, Princess Hua came to deliver cakes to Liu Zixing. Her eyes did not hide her love for Liu Zixing. Unfortunately, Liu Zixing only had Shi in mind. The third brother Zi and the fourth sister Feng came to Zhou Shenkin to resume orders. With them came the monks of the White Horse Temple and the people in exile. At present, they are all housed in the Garin Temple. Seeing Shi in the military camp, Feng couldn't help but frown and worry about her safety. She couldn't help but reprimand Shi for her nonsense. Shi aggressively tugged on Zhou Shenkin's sleeve.
怎么，家的师傅不听你解释了？师傅，您也是的，为老不尊，老是想看十一笑话。
This little sister is extremely favored in the military camp. Zhou Shenkin decided to take Shi for a walk and go to Galan Temple together. Zhou Shenkin and his men did not bring weapons into the temple. He properly housed the exiled people and he escorted the exiled civilians to Zizhu city and built a new temple for the monks. Zhou Shenkin took Shi with him to watch the shaving. However, when he saw the exiled people who had been shaved, Zhou Shenkin's face turned cold and he immediately pulled Shi away. It turns out that this exile is no other than the second prince of the southern kingdom of Liang, Zhao Wen. Later, I do not know what happened. Zhao Wen and the Liang emperor clashed, living in seclusion. At this time, Liang's pursuers arrived and Feng fought with Liang's people. She had no weapons and had to control Zhao Wen. Zhou Shenkin rushed to help Feng, watching Zhou Shenkin deal with the enemy soldiers with his empty hands. Shi Zhao's heart was burning.
心如焚。
She overcame the aphasia that had plagued her for so long. Zhou Shenkin collected his sword and settled all Liang's pursuers. Shi breathed a sigh of relief.
话说得不错。
And she was very surprised that she could speak. Zhou Shenkin was also very happy that Kui Guang resigned and went back to Qin City, and he asked the descendants of the Kui family to go back and write the history of the dynasty. Next month, Shi must leave Shizhou and return home. The day is near, but Shi is not happy. Her heart is only thinking about Zhou Shenkin. Soon, Zhou Shenkin learned that Prince Liu Zixing was coming to Western Zhou. In addition to dealing with the matter of the Southern Zhao prince, he wanted to meet with Shi secretly. She was not willing to meet with Liu and was ready to go back to the military camp. When she heard that Zhou Shenkin was not willing to stay in the house for New Year, Shi went to ask him why.
是殿下不想让你和广陵王被打扰。
Hearing this, Shi instantly changed her expression. Her heart was a little sad and no longer asked about it.